Okay. So in the vein of free agency, we talked about the one player. Well, you talked about the one player they must resign.
I know you did E, none of the above. Like, bro,
I did,
I
yeah.
didn't know this was like one of those multiple choice questions.
Hey, you can do with it whatever you want. Now you know the rules from here on out. The rules have been laid out. You fully understand them. Okay. What is one free agent? Now I know that we talked about some guys in free agency, I believe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But let's, not take money out of it because money will be a factor. But what is one guy that you think the 49ers should go all in for? And when I say this, yes, money's a factor, but money can be freed up. Like, let's be real.
Right.
If they extend Armstead, that's 10 million. Jimmy Ward is in the final year of his contract. Just by extending him, you save another 6. So there is ways to create cap space. What is the one guy in free agency that you want the 49ers to go all in after? And why?
You're not bamboozling me twice, Jesse.
You're like nobody.
You go first this time.
That's like hold on. What was the movie? It was Austin Powers when he's like, sir, you have a 7. I suggest you hit. And he's like, I also like to live life dangerously. That's what Sunil's going to do. He's like, I don't want any free agents like Sunil. They need to sign free agents.
They need nobody.
No.
They only
also live life dangerously.
They only need 22 players, and they're going to play both ways all the time and special teams. That's all they need. No backups.
Oh, my gosh.
No, but how about you go first? Because I've been going first all the time.
Okay. All right. I feel it. Okay. So for me, what's up, by the way, Melissa? This is I haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you on the chat for sure. Hope everything is well. All right. So for me, everybody talks about corner. 49ers need a number 1 corner. I hear JC Jackson. I hear you may not have wanted me to go first. I don't know if I'm going to say your guy and totally rip it apart, but I hear JC Jackson, who most likely is going to stay with the Patriots. I understand there's some conversations about contracts being an issue. I think they'll figure that out. Worst case scenario, they can franchise tag him. The other guy that I hear is Stephon Gilmore, which I don't have a problem with Gilly Lock, but I do have a problem with signing a 32-year-old man corner who's probably going to want at least a 2-year deal at 13 per. I'm not with it. To me, I'm not doing that. I look at Ambry Thomas. I look at Manuel Mosley, and I think they're both fine. In fact, the only issue I have with the 49ers secondary comes to third down, and I think some of that is scheme dependent, but also the issue I have with the secondary is they don't force a lot of turnovers. They were 9th worst when it came to forcing turnovers and interception rate. But I do have a way to fix multiple problems here, Sunil. They may have to replace Jaquiski Tartt, okay? They may also need to look at nickel corner because K1's not being back. How do you fix both? The way that you do that is you bring in a guy like Honey Badger. 29 years old. He plays a position in safety that is not as important that you are young, right? Like it would be at corner when I look at Gilly Lock. He's also younger than Gilly Lock. But I look at him and Ward together. First of all, completely interchangeable. You can do whatever you want with either one of them. You can man them up on tight ends and running backs. You can have one of them rotate down and play nickel corner on third downs. You can run cover 2 man and allow your corners to press because you've got 2 great safeties back there that are going to wipe away mistakes. To me, if there's one player that I could splurge on in free agency, it's going to be the Honey Badger. Him and Ward together, absolute nightmare for opposing offenses. That's what I want to see happen. So, Honey Badger to the 49ers, make it happen.
I like how you preface that by saying JC Jackson most likely is going to stay with the New England Patriots, but somehow Honey Badger is going to be available like he is at the heart and soul of that Kansas City defense.
Hey, listen, he's going to be expensive.
Narratives,
they don't have a lot of money.
PFS that when you're making narratives, right?
Don't get in the way of a good narrative right now, Sunil. You're about to get muted.
All
You're about to
right,
lose
so
connection.
I like that because I mean we're going far fetched, I guess, with that idea. That would be amazing if somehow he was available and the 49ers could get him because I really like him as a player. I really like him as just a person. Overall, I think he'd be great. And that safety duo would be good for minimum 3 years, if not more, right? So that you're just solving a problem down the line, for a long time. For me, um, I look at another way to solve those issues because my guy's going to be on defense as well. And I think we already have a superstar in Nick Bosa. And we're looking for somebody who can pair up with him on the other side and force the quarterback to make mistakes. And I looked at some of the free agents that are there, and I'm looking for not somebody that is going to be like the future down the line.
I don't know who it is, but it sounds unrealistic. Go ahead.
Miles Garrett. No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking at guys that are going to come in, make an immediate impact, Jesse, and that are going to help the 49ers be closer to winning a Super Bowl the same year that they're brought in. And I look at guys like the Rams went out and got Von Miller, and Von Miller made an impact immediately, helped them get over the hump, and end up winning a Super Bowl. Somebody mentioned Von Miller. He's not somebody that I would want to bring in because F the Rams, right? Like you're not going from the Rams Super Bowl to the 49ers and doing the same thing. But a guy like Chandler Jones, a guy like Calais Campbell, a guy like Jason Pierre-Paul, those are three names that I think could come in, make an instant impact, help out a guy like Nick Bosa, help out whomever ends up being that nose tackle alongside Eric Armstead, make the life easier for the cornerbacks and whomever is in that secondary, make the life easier for whomever's playing linebacker. I think if you could bring in a guy, one of those three guys, if we're talking about splurging, because all of those guys are going to be, 10 to 15 million for the year. But I think you bring in somebody like that makes an instant impact for the 49ers. And I think out of that list, I would really like Chandler Jones, man. I think he brings a nasty streak that the 49ers would love on that defense. It's a FU to Arizona because, he's not too happy with them and everything that's going on with Kyler Murray and his, they're probably not going to be able to afford him if they have to give Kyler Murray the type of contract that he's looking for. So if we could get like a Chandler Jones, man, bring him in, put him alongside of Nick Bosa on that same defensive line with Eric Armstead and whoever it is, DJ Jones, Kinlaw, whoever ends up being that fourth guy, I think you're looking at top three defense at that point. You're looking at everybody gets elevated just because now who do you double team, right? You can't if you double team Nick Bosa's side, well, Jones is no walk in the park on the other side, right? You double team Jones' side, well, Nick Bosa is going, solo dolo. So that's what I'm really looking for. A stud edge, even if he's a little bit older, but can still get you, double-digit sacks. That's who I'd want to. That's why I love JPP too, man. Like he's gonna bring championship swagger, championship experience. Those are the type of guys that I go splurge on right now.
Yeah, for sure. I actually, I put JPP in my free agents to sign, like realistic free agents, because I don't think he's going to be that expensive. Like, I don't think you would have to splurge on him and he would make an immediate impact. Like, to me, that is something that realistically could happen. And that's why I put him there. Splurging certainly would be Chandler Jones. Oh my gosh. You get Chandler Jones with Bosa. Good luck. Good freaking luck. Like you've got zero chance as a quarterback with Chandler Jones on one side, Bosa on the other, and Armstead with whoever, let's say an Arden Key up the middle or Ebucom up the middle. Yeah, good night, Irene. It's over for you. So yes, I love that. I think that would be fantastic. And nobody else in the chat liked it though. I mean, not a single person said that it was good. So it looks like I win this one. No, actually, oddly enough, a lot of people don't give Honey Badger credit. They think that he's a bit overrated. I don't know how you draw that assumption. Personally, I think he's been the glue that has held together that defense. I mean, between him and Jones over Chris Jones over in Kansas City, I think they've been the two glue guys. And I would be curious to see what happens to that defense if they lose him. But I like your thinking. I like weakening a fellow opponent in the NFC West team that you have to play twice, making your team a lot stronger. Absolutely love that. I think it's a great pick. Sunil,